On this week's show, Liberty football puts the finishing touches on the spring, and we check in on a defense ready to wreak havoc.
Plus, center fielder Jaylen Guy details his comeback, and we bring you the story of former Flame great James McKnight. It all starts now. This is Flame Central.
Welcome into Flame Central, your favorite weekly television show about Liberty Flames athletics. I think we've got the market cornered on that one. She's Emily Austin, I'm Matt Warner, and we have a fun show in store for you today.
Yeah, we have a lot of football stories to get to in just a moment, but we start with a big ACC opportunity for Liberty baseball. They went on the road to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the Flames have had an up and down season to this point. Could this be the game that gets them headed in the right direction? Well, I can tell you they wasted no time going to work in this one. A 3-run first inning would set the tone, highlighted by a 3 Hillier 2 RBI double, scoring both Braden Horton and Camden Troyer. Meanwhile, on the mound, Liberty got a great start from Trey Cooper. He got him going with striking out the side in the first inning. Liberty would punch out 11 Hokies in this game. We jump to the 7th now, LU leading 4-2. Jaylen Guy delivering a bases-loaded single that would plate 1 run. More on Guy in just a moment. And then the very next hitter, Gray Betts, would break it open with a 2 RBI knock. He finished the night with 3 total runs driven in as Liberty goes into Blacksburg and comes away with a 7-3 victory, their second win over an ACC foe this season.
Well, one of the guys who contributed to that victory is senior Jaylen Guy. You might have seen him on SportsCenter with some of his insane grabs in center field. Oh, and he's getting it done at the plate, too, hitting over 300 on the season. But this success comes after a setback his junior year that shaped him into the ball player he is today. One who soaks in the moment a little bit more each time he steps on the diamond.
Jaylen Guy has been an impact player for Liberty baseball since taking the field in 2019.
Off speed, lifted into left center field. Guy comes on, diving grab.
Very well by Knight, deep center field. Guy back at the fence, leaping. Wow!
Bennett, first pitch swinging, lines one to center field. On comes Jaylen Guy, the diving catch, the throw from his knees. But as he prepared to begin the 2021 season, during a seemingly ordinary practice, he would experience a career-changing moment.
Just a normal day of practice, nothing crazy happening, nothing too out of the ordinary, just throwing some balls home from center field. Took 1 throw, kind of got on the side of it. When I looked at the other center fielder, and I said, that one kind of hurt, but I thought, just funny, casual, outfield arm pain, nothing too crazy. I didn't think too much of it until the next throw was painful, because it was something I never felt before. It wasn't just casual arm pain.
After waiting a couple of days, hoping the pain would go away, Jaylen realized he needed to have a conversation with Liberty athletic trainer Dan Prusser.
I come into Dan early in the morning, and he kind of just laid the news on me, and he just say, we probably should get surgery. I shed a couple tears because, it's a hard conversation to have. It hurts.
Jaylen would miss playing his entire junior season, but he quickly realized that he would miss being with his team even more.
You definitely get the feeling of a little bit of isolation because you don't get to play. They go on the road for sometimes a week and a half. They go on the road for a whole week, and then the whole lingo is different. They come back saying something funny that you don't even know about.
But instead of sulking, Jaylen would take a different approach.
I immediately kind of redirected the mindset to we're going to get better and get over this.
It was very much a, hey, I'm going to sit back here and be here for my teammates, and that's his best trait, is the type of teammate that he is. So as hard as it was on him, I thought he really did a good job handling it.
Just the excitement to get up every day and still get the opportunity to get better kept me going.
More than a year removed from the injury, Jaylen is back roaming center field, making an impact once again.
Thomas sends one deep to right center. Jaylen Guy giving chase, diving and making the catch in right center field. Jaylen Guy takes extra bases away from Tanner.
No. I wasn't asking you to throw it.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. I think it just made me slow down and appreciate every single thing that I get to do every day, appreciate every person that's in front of me every single day. One of the biggest things is my relationship with God is starting to grow. And it took me to slow down and completely see something else other than baseball to understand that. I'm just trying to have fun out there, especially this year. I just want to enjoy every single second of it.
The thing about Jaylen is, you have to be with us every day to really appreciate who he is and how he goes about his business. And there's just a spirit and a passion and an energy that comes with him that I don't know that I'll ever have one like it. He's special. Everything's good in Mudville here. We got our center fielder back.
Thanks to our Ian Hazard for producing that piece. Staying on the diamond, Liberty softball had its 7-game win streak snapped after falling to Virginia on the road. But I'm sure you've caught on. The Lady Flames don't hang their heads long following a loss, and they had a chance to bounce back at Charlotte the very next day. And the highlights didn't take long in this one. 49ers Ashley Washington sends a shot to right. Rachel Roop going back, and she brings it back in the ballpark. Matt Warner, do you know what you call that?
A robbery?
A Roop robbery.
Got it.
It was quiet for the rest of the game. So let's just fast forward to extras. Sack fly to left for Rachel Crane. That gives the Lady Flames a 1-0 lead in the top of the 8th. And then Megan Fortner adds to it with a ground ball down the first baseline. Roop will score. Fortner will advance to second, and Liberty is up 2-0. The Lady Flames defense came up big to hold off the 49ers in the bottom of the 8th and gets the extra inning win on the road. Final score 2-1. Liberty hosts Stetson for a weekend series up next.
All right, let's talk some football now. Liberty spring ball comes to a close this week, and while there have been plenty of changes within the program, both in staff and scheme, let's not forget that some things may stay the same, namely on the defensive side of the ball. Emily took a look at just that in this week's Camp Report.
Throughout spring ball, there has been a lot of attention on this new offense, and for good reason. However, there are plenty of storylines from the defensive side of the ball as well. Just a reminder, the defense is looking to replace 8 starters from a season ago. So while it will look similar as far as scheme, the faces will look much different. This week, we caught up with co-defensive coordinator Jack Curtis, who is actually the only coach who was retained from the previous staff, to discuss some of the other changes defensively.
Really, the truth be known, terminology. All right, so there's a tree of defenses out there that we're in, but this kind of over the years since I've been at Liberty has been watered down from a lot of different systems. So we blew the whole thing up and started brand new with all terminologies. So where the techniques and the schemes are the same, but it's all new terminology for all the coaches.
It's really not changing too much, so that's the good part about it. We're really doing a lot of the same stuff. I would just say keep learning the playbook for everybody, because it's never enough of that, and just continuing to raise our effort level every day, despite how we may feel. And when it's late in spring ball, can you bring the same effort as you did day one? Just keeping that same intensity.
Coach Curtis also talked about how difficult it's been to go up against a new and unusual offense in practice every day, but the defense is using that challenge to its advantage.
I think when you face an option team, you see it all. And when you get into game day, it'll be a lot easier. The amount of runs that you're seeing is different. It's almost, it's easier to recognize and react to what you're playing against.
This kind of offense with the triple option, it'll help us stay on our toes and be alert, be ready for crazy plays, because Coach Chadwell's offense, stuff's flying, especially for us at linebacker. There's people pulling, running backs going across your eyes and stuff. You just gotta, it makes you just stay locked in on your keys and just stay disciplined.
This coaching staff has really focused on bringing this group closer together on and off the field. A lot of the guys were talking about a brotherhood that's been formed throughout spring ball, and they look to carry it into the fall. Man, fall can't come soon enough. And you know what they say, a game is won or lost in the trenches, which is where you'll find a defensive line coach, Skylor Magee, preparing his guys. I trust that you listened or watched the Flame Central podcast episode where we got to know Coach Magee, but if not, here's a quick introduction.
Intense, but controlled intensity.
Think about that now. You can attack the field. Attack it.
You got to have some intensity, but you have to be able to harness it and control it to make the correct impact on each play.
Go get it. Go get it, Nate. Go get it, Nate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it be physical. I like it. I like it.
We'll tell them there's 3 things you can control, and that's your knowledge, your attitude, and your effort. And as long as we control those 3 things, we'll be all right.
Good! Good! Good, freshman! That's what I'm talking about!
I will go into some games and we'll tell them this game's going to be won and lost at the line of scrimmage. If you play well and you dominate it, we'll win. And that is, it happens a lot. I don't sugarcoat it. It is what it is.
Go, stop. Don't step backwards and go forward. It's coming from that stance, they're bolted in the ground. Bow! And then you should be scooting forward. Say it. Straight! Better.
We obviously embrace the challenge because it's fun.
Say it. Snap! Good. Be under control with your feet coming out of it. Say it. Snap! Good. Slingshot it.
Knowing you have that on you and you got to go out there and you got to work your techniques and fundamentals and progression throughout the week and put it on display on Saturdays.
Snap! Snap! Finish! Back on! Good!
I feel like there's certain times and situations you ask kids to do certain things, knowing there's certain things that are a little bit more difficult than others. I know the margin for error.
Rick, that's much better!
Knowing what they can and can't do and what they should and shouldn't do in those situations helps as well.
Strike him hard. And don't look out there. If you look out there, what's he gonna do? He gonna look with you and he gonna come off. Yep.
You can go out there and coach them hard and love them hard, and then also you can pray with them afterwards. Well, with Coach Chadwell, we pray together after practice.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you, Lord. Thank you, for this beautiful day that you gave us, Lord.
This is my 12th season working with Coach Chadwell. The way he runs his program is very family-oriented. I think that's probably been the best part about it. But what hits home is when you see those guys 5 years after they finish playing and they're married and they got a good job or they're a good employer and they have kids and they introduce you to their kids. I think I get more enjoyment out of that than I do seeing them get a sack.
Sir?
Hey, shout out to 703. Shout out to our boys back home. Shout out Mom. Shout out Dad.
Get in line.
Oh, man, those mic'd up pieces have me ready for some football. You know what else gets me fired up, though? It's the way Liberty Lacrosse has been playing lately. They're all by themselves atop the A-Sun Conference, but on Wednesday, they took on an especially tough non-conference test as they hosted number 9 Florida. The Gators had won 4 straight entering this contest, and it didn't take long to see why they were ranked 9th in the nation. They would jump out to a 10-1 lead, with the score eventually settling at 12-2 at the half. Now, in the second half, Liberty started to put some things together. In fact, LU outscored Florida 5-4 in the second half. Selena Kerr led the way for the Lady Flames with 2 goals. But in the end, this one would go to the team from Gainesville. The Gators take it by the final of 16-7. Coming up, an accomplished Liberty receiver with a lengthy NFL career. We bring you the story of James McKnight.
Plus, your favorite Canadian, Rhett McGibbon, heats things up with a little warm, hot, and fuego. That's when Flame Central returns.
Get your career started on the right track. Let Liberty University help you get on the road to success.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
God's calling for your life can be specific. And at Liberty, we are committed to equipping you to pursue that calling. Choose from more than 350 unique programs of study, or design your own major through interdisciplinary studies, and be confident your major is the perfect fit. No matter how specific your calling, you'll find a program of study to match at Liberty University and become your best as a champion for Christ.
At Liberty University, we don't just believe everyone should have access to higher education, we make it happen. That's why we are offering our Middle America Scholarship to help families like yours by providing over $20,000 over the course of 4 years. Money should not hold you back from the life-changing experience at Liberty University. Find out if you qualify for the Middle America Scholarship today.
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 600 online programs, one you, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back to Flame Central. I'm sure many of you can agree, coaches have the ability to make a unique imprint on our lives that can last forever. That was the case for Liberty alum James McKnight and former football coach Sam Ratigliano. It was the lessons that Coach Sam instilled here on the mountain that would be the foundation James would turn to later in his professional playing career.
Justino under center. Flames hoping to heat it up with a touchdown here. Justino again to McKnight. Touchdown, Liberty.
James McKnight was a star receiver at Liberty University.
Across the middle, and it's complete to McKnight. Corner hits McKnight. 45. 5. Touchdown, Liberty.
He even played 9 seasons in the NFL. Not bad for a guy who only wanted to run track.
I wanted to be the next Carl Lewis.
James grew up in Central Florida and attended Apopka High School. There he split his time between football, basketball, and of course, track.
I love track more. I was a 24-foot long jumper, almost a 50-foot triple jumper. So I was more committed to track than I was football because, I hadn't even played varsity, until going into my senior year.
Yeah, you heard that right. James played only 1 season of varsity football, but that 1 season was all that then Liberty head coach Sam Ratigliano needed to see.
He sat in my mom's living room and he said, "Miss McKnight, I don't care how long it take him to graduate, as long as he's not getting kicked out of school, he's going to class, he's doing the thing that's required of him, I'll make sure that he comes home with a college degree." My mom looked at me and was like, "You going to Liberty."
But what Coach Sam said next would grab James's full attention.
He said that, "Miss McKnight, I want your son to come play for me at Liberty University because I think he has the talent to play at the next level, and I'm not talking about college football." So now you got a 17-year-old kid looking, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like, this man say he think I got the talent to play in the NFL. No one has ever said something like that, to me, and then saying that to my mom. So I was like, you ain't lying to my mom in my house.
James wasn't academically eligible his freshman year, but he would use that time to become a better player and a better student.
When I was struggling in one of my classes, Coach Sam called his daughter Carrie, and he made Carrie tutor me. And so he's getting a immediate report when she get home.
As time again dumps it out.
On the field, James was turning into exactly what Coach Sam expected, even if one infamous touchdown celebration drew the ire of his head coach.
At that time, there was a commercial called a Nestea Plunge.
Taste the taste of wetness. Take the Nestea Plunge.
So we were like, okay, whoever scored, we're gonna do the Nestea Plunge into the end zone. I ran the post corner, and I'm so far behind the safety and the defensive back. I opened up and fell back into the end zone. Crowd went crazy. My team went crazy. Coach Sam is over there like this. It's like everything in the stadium was moving except Coach Sam. And I tell you, man, that was the longest walk of my life to come from the end zone to the sideline. And he was looking at me. And all of my life, I think that was the only moment that I think he was most disappointed in me. And he looked at me and he was like, "Just get it across the line. That's good enough for me." And man, I tell you, everybody's slapping me on the head. They celebrating. Oh, you crazy, you know? They shaking me, and I feel like I'm in the gutter, bro. I feel so low. It's at such a high moment. I done planned this, you know. We orchestrated this right here. I practiced it in the bed in the hotel room. I did it. I executed, and I got all the glory, and I didn't give God the glory. And that's all that Sam cared about. And so after I calmed down, I walked back up to Coach Sam, and I was like, Coach, I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'll never disappoint you again. Went back to the locker room. Later that game, I got hurt. Missed the rest of the season. I've never celebrated again.
After his senior season, James would sign a free agent contract with the Seattle Seahawks. He would prove to be a reliable receiver for several teams throughout his career. But early on, adjusting to life in the pros was a challenge.
Nothing prepared me for that, you know, because you went from structure, you know, dress code, you know, curfew and things like that at Liberty to, you know, the NFL and life coming at you fast and you got money. But I realized that I was the loneliest person at this club. I'm at this, you know, party with these guys, but it's like everything is moving in slow motion for me. And so I realized that, okay, God, you know, if you don't do something, I'm gonna fail out of this thing real quick. And then I started, you know, getting back into church, started getting back into a place where, all right, you're my center, you know, I'm not playing for anyone else. And once I made that shift, it was kind of on cruise control. You know, my life was kind of centered, but it took about two rocky years to find that balance of work-life, you know, balance, because the NFL presents you so many opportunities to go astray. I think that if Coach Sam didn't come along, man, I'd probably be dead or in jail or something, because everybody in my community, you know, the stars were the drug dealers. Coach Sam was a godsend, and I look at him kind of like a prophet, because he spoke into your life, and the things that he said, he backed it up. He taught the gospel. He preached the gospel because he always did things that honored God. And so how can you not follow and look up to a man like that?
Thanks to John Pratt for producing that piece. Well, Rhett McGibbon is here. That can only mean one thing. Time for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Top player moment in Liberty Athletics over the past week. Rhett, you usually have a theme for us. What do we have this week?
Going a little bit more educational this week.
Right.
National Scrabble Day.
Well, that sounds stupendous.
Oh,
is that a lot of points?
I
don't
so,
know.
yes.
Is it? Yeah, good.
Chalk it up. Why not?
So you're going like a word?
Yeah, going with
the
word
athlete.
with the athlete.
Like
so the first word here is collectedness.
Ooh.
Something you don't usually say. And that goes with
don't.
Austin Barbin on the golf team.
Okay.
This guy coming in here, Mason Rudolph Championship, Day 2 action, a 3 under 68. Really big day for him. Actually pushed him into the top 20 individually. Now, this wasn't like, hey, you just have your buddies come out to play golf. This had some really high-end teams here. Number 1 in the nation. Vanderbilt was there. Also had Tennessee there, really good. They finished in the middle of the pack, but Austin had a really good couple of days for them to get them kind of where they need to be. And now this is big because coming up is ASUN tourney play. And that's what you really need. And, you know, we typically see the golf team in the midst of touching on the top 25, a little lower than I would say their averages year to year, but still, you can punch your ticket. You need a big week at the ASUN Championship, and that was a great tune-up event for them.
Absolutely. All right, from warm, we go to hot. Who's your word in your athlete?
Okay, Gray Betts, leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to find something a little bit more fancified for that, but
I've actually used that word before.
Yeah, exactly. 3 RBIs versus the Hokies. You touched on that earlier today, but he's playing second here lately.
Right.
What were your I wanted to actually ask you a question.
It's different. We've seen him play a little outfield early in his career. You're just trying to get as many bats in the lineup as you can, and he's figuring out a way to get it done.
I love the way he got it done, too. Sack, fly, RBI, a single for 2 RBI. It's not like everybody loves the home run now, but you need the small ball. He's able to get that done. I think it just speaks volumes about himself that he's willing to move to second, you know, this stage of his career, up for an award at the catching position.
That's right, Buster Posey watch list. And he's playing second base.
Right? And he's going to second base, so good for him.
All right, finally in Fuego, Rhett, who you got?
Okay, prolific is the word. Cammie Merkel on the women's lacrosse team.
Good word.
Is it? Okay, so you play Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Huge win, first win against a ranked opponent. But then you go on and you play Coastal Carolina. It's a rival, so you can get up for that, but also Queens, so you don't want that letdown. Cammie Merkel said, don't even worry about it. 9 goals throughout those 2 games and just second on the team in goals now, but you really need a performer like that, one of your go-to players to kind of take charge offensively, and she did exactly that again. 5 goals, 4 versus Queens, and that was just absolutely huge for this team. And I know a little bit of a setback versus Florida, but still a lot of conference action to go. They're looking really solid defensively, one of the top teams in the nation and cause turnovers. So defensively getting it done, offense is sparking too.
Rhett, this Stormont Fuego was good. I don't have a great vocabulary. Rhett, appreciate it as always. Hey, more Flame Central to come right after this.
Challenges, they're nothing new. At Liberty, we know they make you stronger, force you to learn, adapt, to overcome. When your next challenge comes, be ready. Meet it with a degree that propels you forward. We've helped champions like you succeed for 35 years and counting. And now, over 100,000 students are getting stronger every day. At Liberty University, challenges make champions. Let's overcome together.
So you're looking for a university that's perfect for you, a school that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study, and maybe a few more, just in case you change your mind.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, look at this campus.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
And great recreational activities.
Okay, now we're on a roll. Somewhere you can hike, slide, strike, shoot, climb, eat, and most importantly, eat. You want a place that takes you to space? Okay, maybe not, but we can teach you how to fly, or pastor a church, or run a business. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
All right, that's going to do it for us this week. LibertyFlameCentral.com, your home for anything you might have missed on the show.
And make sure you download the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. More great guests, more great content. You don't want to miss it. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you next week.